The public voting of the 26 principal secretary nominees kicked off today, with 19 nominees facing respective departmental committees. Integrity and corruption issues came to the fore, with the nominee for fisheries, Japhet Micheni Ntiba, facing mismanagement allegations at the Presbyterian University of East Africa, where he is the University Council chairperson. A petitioner alleged that Ntiba was instrumental in unlawful dismissal of staff, offering unaccredited programs and religious discrimination at the institution.
Mr. Chairman, we had an allegation earlier on before you came in. There are some contracts that were actually signed lawfully before you came. And now the council, which you chair, has refused to honor those obligations. And some was aggrieved to the extent of over 200 million shillings.
When the issues are tabled, then the council, as a council, takes decisions. And it's a collective decision by the council based on the information that is given.
Ntiba defended himself by denying the allegations, pointing out that the management is responsible for the institution.
After I got a letter of compulsory leave, I tried very much even to speak to the church. I personally even went to the headquarters of the church. I didn't have the direct contact to Professor Ntiba, and therefore I resorted to the next level. That means the chancellor of the university. I had no other means except to actually institute legal proceedings that would bring out the same information. So on the unlawful dismissal, at the initial stage, we went together to court, a number of us. And then later we instituted individual cases.
Management matters in the university, we leave to management. And I would like to leave it at that.
You don't hire and fire yourself. You don't hire, you don't fire.
I don't hire, I don't fire.
The ICT nominee Joseph Tiampaty, who had contested the Narok gubernatorial seat, faced the Energy, Information and Communication Committee, where he denied claims that he had not applied for the position. The committee argued that Tiampaty was not shortlisted by the PSC and has a pending election petition case in court.
There will be certain legislation which will be coming to the House very soon affecting the CCK. And so one of the things that I believe we need to ensure is that when the bill comes to Parliament, that it takes full account of things like, for example, allocation of frequencies.
At 11:30 a.m. today, the nominated Principal Secretary for the National Treasury Docket, Dr. Kamau Thuge, appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Finance, Planning and Trade, chaired by the Ainamoi MP Benjamin Langat. Dr. Thuge was taken to task to explain how, if approved to take up the position, he will ensure that the current stalemate on the division of revenue bill between the two houses in Parliament does not recur.
Do you think that we are staring at a problem where all we're thinking about is revenue allocation and no one is looking at the issues of revenue generation? And what do you think Treasury should do, or what can be done to ensure that we start thinking about revenue generation and how to bake the cake before we focus on how to divide the cake?
Going forward, what we anticipate is that the division of revenue bill and the county allocation of revenue bill would be submitted to Parliament, which is what the Constitution says, will be submitted to Parliament around February 15th. What we then would hope is that within a month there will be discussions within Parliament, and that both the division of revenue bill, which actually should be approved first, and then the county allocation of revenue is then follows, that both bills should be approved by Parliament within 1 month, so that by March 15th, both bills would have been approved.
If approved to head the docket, the Principal Secretary will also be tasked with the mandate of ensuring the realization of the Vision 2030. The nominee, however, said the success of the ambitious plan will depend on the successful devolved system of governance supported by appropriate funds from the Treasury, an issue that he vowed to deliver.
On the issue of the Vision 2030, whether it's a good vision, I think it's a good vision. I think we can achieve it, but in my view, there are several things that we need to do. As I said earlier, and I'll be very brief. One, we still need to maintain that macroeconomic stability, and I come back to it because it's actually very critical. Two, we need to do the infrastructure that we've been talking about, cleaning up ensuring that the port is efficient, getting the railway to work so we can reduce freight cost. We need to get energy costs down, and we need also to improve the road network, and of course water.
The nominee for the Ministry of Health, Professor Fred Sigor, appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Health with the issue of devolving the healthcare services and funds, as well as ensuring every Kenyan accesses them, taking center stage.
There might be some hiccups in terms of immediate implementation, and one way of looking at this smooth running of the health services is to look at the issues, and then after you've looked at the issues, then we decide in consultation what we can roll out completely, immediately, and what we can do in phases.
With an ongoing nurses' strike at the Kenyatta National Hospital, the committee sought to know what Sigor would do in his capacity as Principal Secretary to ensure the challenges faced by the health practitioners are dealt with.
The employees who are working should be given adequate and competitive salaries. Competitive salaries comparable to the private sector in Kenya and the region. The staff should also be given a good working environment.
Today's vetting included the nominees for devolution, National Treasury, Industrialization, Health, Transport, Lands Ministries, among others. The vetting of the remaining nominees continues tomorrow. Winnie Kizia for Channel 1 News Hour.